That is a point that has been made by the government and by the Israelis. There are those in the Labour ranks who are a bit uneasy, and they think that without condoning or even excusing Hamas's actions, the Labour leadership, have lined up with the government in a way that is essentially lining up with what they regard as a true aggressor, Israel. Is Labour essentially divided on this?
Labour's always been a friend to both Israel and Palestine, and that's true for Keir, that's true for David Lammy, that's true for me as well. And the only solution for the Palestinian people and for the Israeli people is two states living side by side in peace. Now that has become a very distant prospect, particularly for the Palestinians over at least the last decade and a half. The truth is people in Gaza have been running out of hope. They've been watching settlements being built in the West Bank, illegal settlements that are making the prospect of a two-state solution very, very difficult
my
indeed.
Point, if I may
and the world hasn't shown the same level of care and attention to this as we ought to have done, and we're determined that that's going to change.
Your critics within the Labour Party, 23 councillors resigned, I think, this week, are saying that essentially you recognise that, but that, in fact, you're supporting the continuation of that situation?
Well, we're not supporting the continuation of the despair and suffering of the Palestinian people at all. I say this to you as someone who was chair and vice chair of Labour Friends of Palestine for a decade, and I say it to you as someone who stood in the room on October the 7th when Keir led the vigil for the people of Israel after the horrific terrorist attack by Hamas, and made strongly the point that international law must be upheld and must prevail, and has sat with me and aid agencies over the last week working out practically what Labour can do from opposition, what levers we can pull by speaking to our counterparts in other countries, particularly where there are sister parties, to try and make sure that water and power and medicine is available to people in Gaza. That's our priority.